What's up, everybody? It's your host, Devin. It's just me, myself, and I, this podcast. This podcast is basically going to be about answering fans and listeners' questions and getting my take all over the place, so I hope you enjoy it. And one of the first ones I got was probably one of the basic ones we probably would get is why did I start a podcast? From my interview from my boys Josh and Eric, they asked me that question, and I told them. Well, it started off with I was listening to motivational speeches a lot. I was in just a mood, nothing but motivation, working out, and it was like one of my best times of working out, and like I shredded all like 30 pounds, and I was just nonstop listening to motivation speeches, motivational videos. I was writing my own motivation speeches, and I was really driven, and I really like to listen to what other people said. And it's crazy because when you see the videos and listen to them talk, there's so many different views on how people can be motivated, and you can listen to one motivation speech tell you don't listen to the haters. It's only bad for you. But the other side of it is people would say, listen to your haters, let your haters be your motivator. And it's pretty crazy to think about the different views, which is why I like to listen and see different views, aka wide-eye perspective. But that's what, I mean, it started there. And then one day at work, my friend asked me, do you have anything to listen to? Because he likes to listen to something while we worked. And I was like, dude, all I listen to is motivational speeches. Then it got me thinking, and I was like, well, let me look. So I started looking, and I like to learn things. So I started back off on motivation. Then it went into, well, if I'm going to listen to something, why not learn something? So I looked up, I think the first one that popped up was Neil deGrasse Tyson about the black hole. Started listening about that, listened to him a lot. Then it brought me to the Joe Rogan podcast when he was on there. So I started listening to Joe Rogan and him talk, and I listened to all the ones that they had together, and I was like, you know what? I like the way Joe Rogan brings these people and talks about where they come from, why they did it, and there I was just like, when I drink and have a good time, I like talking about crazy shit, and I like to see different views of things. And so basically, that's how I started it, and tried to. Took me a minute before I really could get the ball rolling on it, because it's hard to do something when you don't know where to start at. But I actually went with it, got to it, and me and my friend worked on the name, and I really wanted to capture the wide spread of topics I would be going over. So where you would see the wide eye, or the wide part, and then the eye would be that one eye, like you have one eye on one side of the view, and then you have your other on the other side of the view. So therefore, you can put two together and form your own kind of opinion or thought and perspective. Yeah, just new perspectives that you normally wouldn't see. And that's why I basically started the podcast. And also too, it gives me a reason to talk about some crazy shit and hear people's stories. So thank you for that question. My boy P, he asked me, do you think COVID is real or not, and why? Well, I do think it's real. But just because I've been working in the hospital as much, and they're all talking about COVID and getting all these like sensor things to put at the door, so when you walk in, it shines this beam of light on you and stuff, which is pretty crazy. But I don't think it's as bad as they say it is. I'm sorry for people if they did lose somebody or got contracted with it, but I truly believe that it's real, but I just don't think it is as bad as they said it is. And I think they went too hard on. Well, they waited too late to do anything about this, and also I think they went too hard, and now I don't think they want to come back from it. So they're going to keep going and until they can actually find a vaccine for it. But I truly believe that if this was more serious than it, let's say the flu, even the flu, it's not as deadly as the flu. But if it was more deadly, let's say, I don't even know what I don't even know what disease, like, let's say the Black Plague, whatever. If it was like deadly like that, I truly believe that our governor waited too late to do stuff about it. Also, I think it would have hit us so hard that we would not have been able to recover. And I get to the point where it would be like world breaking down, no, like, government falling apart. Like, everything would be going crazy if it was really, really bad and more deadly. I truly believe that our society would just collapse because we're just not prepared for it. We don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to do about this, or how to prevent it, or how to keep going forward with it. And then you get to the point where you could advise people what to do, but it's also, you can't make someone do it until you, like, formally do whatever you got to do to do, like, to force people. But I mean, I just think if it was worse than it was, then we would probably not be civilized at this point. I think there would be a lot of shit going on. Thanks, Preston, for that question. Hope that answered or gave you a new view on it. I'm pretty sure that you thought it was real too. Another question about COVID from my friend Patrick Block. Yo, Patrick. He asked me some pretty good questions too. He asked me, what changes during COVID have you made, like the shopping or going grocery shopping, or basically changes you had to do since COVID started. And basically, I think the only different thing I've done is just put a mask on, really. Because being at the hospital and being around it, if I'm going to get it, then I'm probably going to get it from there. Or, I mean, if it's that contagious and stuff, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard not to catch it if you're around it. I really haven't changed much, other than just being respectful out of everybody else and just putting the mask on. Sometimes I forget it, and I made a Facebook post the other day. I was like, damn, I always pat my back pocket, make sure I have my wallet, my keys, start running downstairs, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to turn back around and go get the damn mask. I'm like, I don't even know how superheroes keep up with their masks, because I freaking forget every time. And I have like one in my car and one in my book bag, so I have one just in case if I do forget, and I'm like, oh, well, there's a backup. But really, I haven't made any many changes. I think everybody else made the changes for us. About not going in places, how we order. But yeah, I haven't really changed anything personally. But thanks for that question. But you also had another one. You also asked, well, this one wasn't about COVID. What's one thing I bought this year that I can't live without? That was a really good one, because if anybody knows me, I don't really go out and spend money on things I don't really need, I guess, basically. Or if I do, it's usually alcohol. But that's probably, I mean, I don't really need all that. But tell you the truth, what I couldn't live without. Gosh, that's a good question. I don't even know where to go with that, because I think we can. I can pretty much live without a lot of things. So, I guess. I mean, that is a pretty. That one got me. I thought I was gonna have something for that, but I really don't have an answer for that one. I mean, I guess food. I mean, I definitely that one thing I have been keeping up with is food for during COVID. I think I've eaten a lot more than I ever eaten before normally, and I guess that would be my answer because I mean, can't live without food. But thanks from Patrick Block, Nashville, Tennessee. And the whole COVID stuff too, it's crazy. I'm ready for that shit to be over with and move on. Cause I'm getting a little tired of not being able to do very much and hang out and go out and party and stay out till 2 a.m., which is a bad decision, but still, I miss it. And I see a lot of people saying a $16 beer would be pretty nice right now. God, I hope football season's not this bad. But thanks for those questions, Patrick. Another question from Mackenzie. She asked me, what's my favorite restaurant in Charlotte? Which my last podcast, I did say my top 3. But I will say that probably my favorite restaurant I like to go to is Caswell Station. Just because I love the environment. Love the owners. They know how to treat a customer. They're fun. They take care of them. They take care of their employees. Great people to be around. Great people. That's my favorite. Always have great specials. Definitely, if you go there, try the flatbread and the wings. Definitely top, and the tacos. I mean, I used to eat those things like all the time, all the fucking time. They're so good. But thanks for that question, Mackenzie. And if y'all did listen to the last one, you got Billy's little weird ass top 3. No, I'm just kidding, Billy. But yeah, so definitely if you're in the Charlotte area, check out Caswell Station. It's definitely a great environment. I enjoy going there all the time when I do go. Even when I was living like 25 minutes from it, I'd drive over there just to go over there. I mean, 25 minutes for me is long when you got a bar right across the road. So, but yeah, definitely check that place out. Nick, he asked me, what's your view on social media censorship? And that one's pretty cray-cray. I mean, there's so many things that are wrong and right about it that it's really hard. You can actually do a whole podcast on that. And it's crazy. Because if you censor somebody about a certain topic, so let's go with the pros. I mean, you're censoring something that you don't want to be spread, which is therefore violating freedom of speech rights, but also too, when it's harming or going to harm another person, I understand. And also too, which is crazy, they can censor so much stuff, but they won't censor like all these crazy ass videos you see on Facebook, like people getting killed and their head chopped off and all that shit. Like, I mean, they won't censor that, but they'll censor words and that you say, or a certain topic, which is that will influence a particular topic, or influences someone's decision to do something. And I think when they do that, you're taking away the platform that you gave people to be able to express their feelings and say what they want to say. But at the same time, you cannot take that. It's hard because you can't take that away from somebody, but I understand on both sides of it, to protect people. But you have to understand that if you do it for one thing, you got to do it for everything. You can't just do it on one topic and be like the other side about another topic, like fishing and don't go fishing. You can't censor somebody saying going fishing and then not censor someone saying I'm going fishing all the time, basically. So like I understand it's crazy, but it's definitely like a very steep slope to go down. I think that if you really want to censor things, then you need to put it and get people to sign it so where they understand. But when you take someone's freedom of speech away, then it gets crazy. And also, too, if you can censor some things and it never get out, then why aren't you doing it about topics that need to be censored? Never should be brought up. Never taken, like, should be taken away off there. And the thing about all kind of people shaming people, being racist, all that stuff, you won't censor that, but you'll censor certain topics, which is crazy. And it's just a steep slope, and you can just go on and on about the pros and the cons and which company does it right, which company doesn't do it right, which platform does it right, which platform doesn't do it right. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, so my view on it, it's tough, but I understand censoring some things, but you have to understand if you're going to censor some things, you're going to need to censor everything about that. But at the same time, you're taking freedom of speech from people, and you shouldn't. Because then what's the point of having a Facebook or a Twitter or something if you're not able to express how you feel? And sometimes you might not like it, but I mean, we all need to vent, even if it's not true. We just say shit because when we're mad and stuff, we always want to have something to vent to. Thanks for the question, Nick. And about that too, going back to the COVID, Billy Benfield, the guy that was on my last podcast, the one that was, y'all, I know he's a little, I'm just kidding, Billy. But he asked me, he's a coach he coaches wrestling at Sun Valley. And he wanted my take on the effects of COVID on sports and high school athletes and what is on it. And I think it sucks for the high school athletes and college athletes and the divisions that are canceling out of playing, because sometimes football or any sport is an outlet for somebody to go and get away from the real world. It's fun. I mean, even if you're not even playing on an actual team, it's going out playing in the backyard or on the court or on any kind of field. Sports is another way to get away from real life, and it brings a lot of people together. And for the kids in high school, and definitely their outlet to get out of somewhere. If they have crazy athletic ability, you don't know how them canceling a year, you don't know how good they could have been, how good they could have maybe gotten a scholarship that year. Now they can't prove it. And it takes away a lot for them to even just be motivated to go to school. I mean, if I didn't have football, I probably wouldn't have made sure I had great grades like I did. I mean, I didn't have great grades, but grades enough to pass and be able to get into a college. Sports drove me, and it was my outlet. I used to be a horrible little kid until I played football. I had anger problems, all that bad crap. But once I played football for the very first time, my whole demeanor, mood changed. I became I'm probably the sweetest person you ever meet. And that's just not me saying, that's from what I've been told, which I have been told I have a resting bitch face. So I'm sorry about that, but it's not meant to be that way. I'm just very shy. So it might look like I'm just being angry all the time, but I'm not, I promise. But definitely it was an outlet for me, and it changed everything. It got me into going the right route. I love the sport. Opened my eyes to more of just watching it. When you're watching a sport, you don't know really what goes into it, and being being there and being able to experience it, it just opens your eyes to what you have to do, the work ethic, the determination you have to continue something, and the family aspect of it. I mean, there's not one person on that team you wouldn't like fight for, and even if it pisses you off sometimes, like we've had plenty of times where we had fights in practice, and we're just like saying "fuck you" and throwing them on the ground, and but after that, I mean, give us a day. I mean, we're right back there. We're going to be fighting for each other to get to, because we're all fighting for the same goal. And I think it sucks for athletes in high school and college, because this could be their one shot to be able to prove to people that they have it for the next level. And I think when we take it from somebody and not giving them that opportunity, it really sucks. And I think that's what people, I mean, that's what it comes to my part where mental health, and they're saying that it's been a high rise of mental health issues against for high schoolers because they can't play their sports, and I don't think the government's really understanding. Like, I mean, us shutting down everything. Also, I mean, I know it's to protect people, but at the same time, trying to get them back to school and then you say it's not safe is kind of contradicting yourself. And I think it sucks that they're putting not even just sports, but everybody. It's bringing everybody down, and high rates of suicides have gone up. The mental health issues, it's affecting everybody, because, I mean, you got to worry about making money to pay the bills when you didn't have to before, and then parents have to worry about where their kids going to go when they have to go to work. They can't pay people because they don't know, they have to make the money because somehow from somewhere, and it's really affecting the whole population, mental health wise, because you're just it's really just I think this whole COVID thing it's really showing the cracks and the holes of the whole system, with other countries, how unprepared our government is when a crisis does hit. I think the only crisis they ever know how to react to is war, which is the crazy thing. I mean, we've had war ever since we've been able to pick up a stick or beat somebody up. I mean, that's the only thing they really know have a plan for, but they don't have a plan for mass, like a disease like this, or I mean, basically mass riots and mental health issues they're pushing people, and then how to help the country rebound, because I don't think it should take this long to figure out a stimulus check for the population when the people that are making this decision already have the money. They're making money, and they're making decisions based off what? Their views on things. The government has plenty of money. I mean, it's just what they're doing behind doors with that money, and it's hard to trust the government when they can't even tell you the truth about things. I mean, it's definitely hard. That was a good question, Billy. I think it does affect a lot of people, especially with mental health. I know it's really hard for kids not to be able to go play their sport, and for seniors, it sucks. It really does. I know they were working on pushing everything back, and hopefully they'll still be able to play. But it sucks for the schools that are canceling out their seasons and not giving them an opportunity, because that's their one shot to really get somewhere, and also too to pay for their school. I mean, some people need those scholarships. So that was a great question, Billy. Thank you for that. And got another question. And Billy, I didn't forget your other question, but the earthquake thing, I was asleep, dude. I did not even know. I woke up the next day and literally saw everybody talking about it. I was like, what the fuck? When did this happen? So I was asleep in bed when the earthquake happened. And then he had another question, which is the fight this Saturday, UFC 252, the main card. Thoughts on that one? It's gonna be a great fight. They're two. This is their third time going against each other. I think they're split. And props to them because I mean, if for their age and still being able to fight and put their body through what they're putting their body through is impressive. I mean, it takes a lot to be able to do something like that. I mean, and I'm not a fighter, but I just know it takes a lot of work to get the. I mean, to even keep fighting to that age. I mean, a lot of people can't. I mean, just look at all the sports. I mean, there's a few instances some people can still keep playing, but I mean, 42 and 39 is pretty up there from getting your head beat in and all the surgeries Daniel's had. But I think I'm gonna have to go with for his name Stale. I can't remember McCorrick. I think that's the name. I can't pronounce it for some reason, but I think he's gonna win. Just because I know Daniel's age. I know he can still throw the punches and do all that, but I think his surgeries are gonna catch up with him. I mean, especially his back. I think he's Style or whatever his name is going to win that fight. And I think it's going to be a quick fight. I don't think it's going to go too far because, I mean, you got to think about the age. I mean, and I'm not saying you can't do things at an older age because, I mean, clearly they're proving it now. But the cardio and the cardio big one is it's hard to keep up with cardio at an age that high of an age, especially what they have to do. Even when you're training all the time, your body wears down. It does wear down, and I don't think it'd go past 3 rounds. To be honest, I think it'll stop in the second or third, but it won't go past 3. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say I'm 90% sure that's going to happen. So if you're a betting person, don't listen to me because I'm only good at betting basketball apparently. But yeah, good question, Billy. Good 2 questions. And thanks for asking. Don't want to take this too long because, solo podcasts sometimes, you don't want to listen to someone talk for about an hour, which is usually okay. I mean, but I do have a few things I want to say to everybody. All my fans and followers, thanks for listening and helping me promote. Y'all are awesome. And helping me, shout out to Billy for helping me out, being there and talking about some crazy shit, even though we talk crazy shit all day at work. But thanks for coming on for me and speaking your mind. And Josh with the beard, Eric, Patrick, Cam, Josh Nixon. Sorry if I'm forgetting someone. I've been doing it. I've been having so many podcast people on here. Preston, and great questions, by the way, P. And congrats on the new job, bro. I think he's a network engineer now, which is pretty awesome. And everybody, thanks for listening. I'm all be free to hit me up on my Instagram, DJLev42. And also, don't be afraid to send me some message on some topics you would like to hear. If you're in the Charlotte area too, don't be afraid to come on the podcast. If you have a business you want to promote, I'm here for you. I love to be able to do that. I love promoting things. It's my favorite thing to do. That's why I was so successful in the bar business. Also follow my Wide Eye Perspective Instagram at Wide Eye Perspective. Get the updates on who I'm going to be with and my giveaway, which I'm doing at the end of August. So make sure you enter. Go like the post. New followers on Wide Eye Perspective get entered into the drawing. You get one ticket, and then there's more rules onto it. A like and a share, 5 tickets, and it just goes up from there. And if you're in Charlotte, don't be afraid to come and try to be on this podcast. I love bringing new people on and catching new perspectives. And don't forget to enter. Also, if you're watching the YouTube video or you like string lights, or I hope in my background is the Gove lights. Definitely follow the link in the bio to get those. It helps me out. And I got to bring up groceries. With this COVID shit, you want to have it delivered. So, like I said, Instacart can have your groceries delivered as fast as an hour. And also, they pick the freshest ingredients. They can hit multiple stores. And if you follow my link, you get your first order up to $35 is the delivery fee is gone. So make sure you check it out, click it, sign up, and hey, just make it easier on yourself so you don't have to put yourself in harm's way. And thank you for getting that stuff too as well. But follow the link. And thanks for listening, guys. Check me out. Make sure you follow me and be on the lookout for the giveaway. We're going to be doing this more often every month. So make sure you subscribe, follow, and like whatever platform you're using to listen to me. Subscribe to me. Make sure so you know when I'm going to have a new podcast come out. And share it. That'd be really awesome. And don't forget to enter the giveaway because we're giving away a cool ass book bag. Nice white book bag, has Wide Eye Perspective on the top, and has my hashtag Catch a New Perspective. So if you're if you do enter, hit a hashtag Catch a New Perspective, just so I know you listen to this, and I'll give you an extra 10 tickets. So and the drawing will be at the end of this month. So be on the lookout for that, and just help me spread out the Wide Eye Perspective brand. It'd be awesome. I definitely like to keep doing this and making it bigger and better for everybody. And I enjoy this. So hit me up. Follow those Instagrams at DGillette42 and Wide Eye Perspective. Also I have a YouTube channel. So if you like it, like that and subscribe too, if you're listening, I'll give you an extra 5 tickets. So thanks for listening, guys. And I appreciate it. I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.